this tutorial. Um, in this tutorial, I will gonna show you how to perform a voice pushback in UEX 1.7. Okay, the first thing we need to know how to is that we need to configure some hotkeys before going further. This hotkeys has been um, configured already in our case already before running P3D simulator. So the hotkeys that you need to configure are one for star pushback and the other for the push to talk key. Since version 1.7 you can configure a push to talk key to avoid having the system being listened to you always for a voice command. This caused some problems in previous version because people were saying something at the given moment, and then it triggered an action that they didn't want to actually trigger, and and also that um, um, it was triggering. Well, the thing was triggering uh, many actions that you didn't want to trigger. So mainly that's why we implemented a push to talk key feature. However, some people in previous version will wanted to leave the system the way it was, that it was always listening for a voice command. So the push to talk key is actually an optional feature that we will going to see just in a few moments. First of all, for configure the hotkeys, we need to go to the UEX initialization file that is located in the application folder. Um, so we go to the UEX folder in the application data folder, like here, and then we open the Ultimate Ground Crew ini file with any text editor, but in this case we're gonna use Notepad. So we open the file, and then at the end we're gonna see some um, hotkeys entries. But it's very important to be clear that since version 1.7 doesn't have a window for key assignments, for configure custom key assignments, we ask the user to actually edit the initialization file. We know this is not the best solution, but this is just the first step because we are gonna implement a key assignment window in next versions. So um, the two keys that you need to configure in this case for voice control are uh, the star pushback key and the push to talk keystroke. Okay, by default, the star pushback key is like this. By default, it comes like this, but you need to assign a key combination like here that I assign Control F3 to trigger the pushback sequence. Also, the same is here. By default, you want to see the push to talk keystroke like this, but you need to assign also whatever key combination you will like. In this case, I assign Control F11. Okay. Once you have done that, you just file, save the initialization file. There are other um, keystrokes, but I will not talk about right now about them. You can go to manual, the manual name optional key assignments. At the very last pages, you are going to see all about hotkeys in UEX. Okay, so for now that's it. And once you have saved or once you have updated the initialization file, then you can go and start running your flight simulator, either P3D or Flight Simulator X. In this case, we already make this configuration way before we run P3D, and now we just go and go forward on it. I already disabled the sound so you can hear me very well. Okay, so right now we are going to start the voice pushback by triggering the also before triggering the voice pushback, sorry, you need to make sure that you are using the voice control mode or interface. In this case, for doing that, you have to open the main UX menu. Then you go to options, then in aircraft profile settings option, you have to go to the interface uh, option and select voice control. In my case here, I just already select voice control. Then select voice control and just hit the save button, and then you are done. Now we are able to actually um, start the pushback by pressing Control F3. Control F3, you wanna start the pushback sequence. In my case, uh, my voice control in UX is set to Spanish because my Windows is in Spanish, and so therefore my speech recognition language by default is Spanish. So that have to match with your UX current language setting.
Tierra a tripulación.
Okay, in this case, the ground crew is contacting us. Now we are going to acknowledge by pressing the push to talk hotkey, which is Control F11. Um, adelante.
Verificación de comunicación y por favor confirmar que los frenos estén colocados.
Okay, in this case, most of the phrases, if you are not sure which phrases you would like, which phrase to tell to the ground crew, if you, sorry for the confusion. If you are not sure which phrase you have to acknowledge or to reply to the ground crew, you can always open the menu and see it. Like in this case, you have to acknowledge with this phrase. Las comunicaciones están bien y los frenos están colocados. That's what I'm going to say right now. Now we're going to. Las comunicaciones están bien y los frenos están colocados.
Gracias.
Okay. Remember, if you are not sure which phrase to say, you can always open the main menu. Also, there is a hotkey for the opening or closing the main menu. Um, let's see if I already have configured. I don't remember really. In this case, no, I didn't configure it. This is the key that you must configure to open and close the menu key through a hotkey. But I didn't did that, so that will have to be the next time I run or restart the P3D or FSX. Okay, meanwhile, we are going to check which phrases I can say. Let's besides the menu window. Okay, there are many options. For example, this option. Okay, you can say to okay confirm the hydraulics and that the system has been pressurized. Okay, I was gonna say that in Spanish. Um, confirmar que todas las verificaciones en tierra han sido completados y estamos autorizados a presurizar el sistema hidráulico.
Todas las verificaciones en tierra han sido completadas y están autorizados para presurizar el sistema hidráulico.
Alright, then there are other options. For example, you can you can preview the pushback road. Okay. For example, in this case, we are here. Okay, you can also click on the map and see that we are here in gate Delta 28. Okay, and you can preview the road by you can cycle between the roads by right clicking and say the next road, show the next road. So we see that there are 3 roads associated to the current parking, or you can edit them, edit them, or leave it like it is right now. So in this case, is we were gonna choose um, facing southwest road. Now close this. You can also have a we have a hotkey for opening and cycle between the different roads. There's a hotkey here. Let me show you which one. Uh, okay, there is a hotkey for open and close the map, which is Control F8, and also you can cycle between the roads using these hotkeys. We are disabled, but you can enable it by assigning a hotkey. I mean a keystroke combination. Show next road key and show previous road key. So we can, for example, here Control F8 and it opens or close the map window. Okay, we are now going back and see which roads we are gonna use. We're gonna use facing southwest, which is orientado hacia el suroeste. Okay, now we are going to say the command for that. Okay, let me check which one. Okay. Spanish. Ok, estamos listos para encendido y retroceso de motores. There is a new feature in UEX that also allows you to have the complete phrase for roads, mainly speaking and only speaking on roads. I'm gonna show you. Okay, sorry for that. It was already open. Aircraft profile settings. Okay, there is a setting like this one. That say use names, road names on pushback road names on menus. Okay, in this case, when the check is marked, when this option is marked or checked, um, you won't see the whole phrase. For example, the whole phrase is um, estamos listos para. The whole phrase in English is we are ready for pushback and engine start. But since the phrase is too long and plus the road name, that means that the menu window to be too large. That's why that option uh, can be checked for voice. I recommend that to be unchecked for voice recognition or voice control mode because you can see the whole phrase for the roads. Uh, but since I forgot to to actually uncheck that option, I'm gonna leave that way. But I just need to remember the phrase for the whole complete phrase that goes over here. For example, the whole phrase for this one is we are ready for pushback and engine start, and plus the road name, which is this one, like facing southwest. So in Spanish is estamos listos para el retroceso y encendido de motores orientado hacia el suroeste. I will gonna say that right now. Estamos listos hold a second, let me unpause the simulation. Estamos listos para el encendido. Estamos listos para el retroceso y encendido de motores orientado hacia el suroeste.
Recibido. Orientado hacia el suroeste. El pasador ha sido insertado. Libere los frenos.
Okay. Now we are going to release the brakes. Hold a second, please. Okay, this is the next phrase we need to say. Frenos de aparcamiento liberados.
Remolcando.
Alright, we are there on the go.
Todo está despejado. Pueden encender los motores a discreción.
Alright, that's the ground crew saying that we can start running the engine. But in our case, we are not going to do that right now. We are just want to see the whole pushback only. We can see from the top down view how
Remolcamiento completo. Ponga los frenos.
okay. Also, there is a new feature in UEX 1 version 1.7 that you can cycle between the ground crew cameras. That's on the ground crew new external camera feature that you may check out the video too. Okay, in this case, we wanna see we're gonna see what we have to say. Okay, frenos de aparcamiento colocados. But since I didn't press the push to talk key, hold a second. Okay. Frenos de aparcamiento colocados. Okay, there you go.
Roger. Adelante, tripulación.
That's okay. We now see. Okay, alright, there you go. Okay, perfect. Now the tug is moving away.
Recibido. El equipo de remolque ha sido desconectado. Los veremos en el lado derecho con el pasador.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Now we need to check what we need to say. Okay. Gracias, ya se puede desconectar y pasar a las señales visuales.
Gracias, que tengan buen vuelo.
Okay, excellent. Alright, then the guy with the bypass pin is going to show the let's see from the cockpit how does it looks like. There you go. You can see that the guy is making the bypass pin. Also, new in version 1.7, you can actually configure the place where the bypass pin guy is going to show the pin. So that's on the bypass pin uh, guy feature video. So you have to check that out too. Um, there you go. That's the UEX external camera. We can rotate that camera using Control Shift F8 because we already configured that on the initialization file. So you can see the different cameras attached. So that's basically this for the voice pushback. I hope you enjoy.